If you have a large stack of notebooks with no purpose, you're not alone. But what if you chose just one notebook this year to give a purpose that serves you? That one notebook could be how this becomes the year you start achieving your goals and checking off that backlog of tasks. It could be the keeper of new knowledge as you learn and grow. It could become the historian of your life, a reminder of the places you've been and the people you've cherished. A notebook can be so many things. And to help you discover how you might want to use your notebooks, I'm going to share all of the notebooks I'm currently using. There are 5 in total, and for each one, I'm going to share what the journal's for, which notebook I am using to achieve it, and how often I'm using it. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and now let's jump into the first notebook. I figured I would start with the notebook that really is all about serving my goals and purposes, and that is the Common Planner. I used to be very much a planner girl. I started out by bullet journaling here on YouTube and loved it, but fell away from planning for a little while, and in recent years have felt quite overwhelmed by all of the goals and tasks that I knew that I wanted to accomplish, but I was trying to organize them in my head alone. And let's just say that did not work as intended. So now every week I sit down with this planner and plan out the week by figuring out my meals on the left column, the events and big tasks that need to be accomplished on specific days, and then I also write down all of the things I need to get done that week and also have a little place for some habit tracking. I am hopeful that I can also start using some of the pages that are set up at the beginning of the Sterling Ink Common Planners, where she has a place for you to do quarterly priorities and to also break down your goals in terms of things you want to do someday, and then weekly and daily and monthly. Not sure yet how I want to use these pages. If you use a Common Planner, I would love to know how you use some of these front pages in the comments. And finally, there are many blank pages at the back of these notebooks for you to use however you see fit. It could be a place for note-taking, for using more as a commonplace journal, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I decided that I wanted to try to get back into some form of daily journaling that captures more of those everyday moments. So I have started that practice again, and so far it is working out pretty well. Let me know in the comments if you are using some form of daily planner or daily journal for memory keeping. I would love to know, and if not, maybe this is your sign to give it a try. I'm excited to share this next notebook with you because this is a new practice for me. As you can see, I'm using a small passport-sized notebook, again from Sterling Ink, because I wanted to really make this notebook a place where I didn't feel a lot of pressure by having a lot of space to fill up, because this is going to be a journal that I really just use when the mood strikes as a commonplace book. Now, that term of a commonplace book might be one that you've heard before, or it might be new to you. And essentially, the idea of a commonplace book is that it becomes a place for you to collect knowledge, for you to collect quotes and ideas and inspiration from other people and other sources in the world. And it is you having a place to gather all of that inspiration in one place, a common place, if you will. Now, for many people, the Commonplace Book is a very utilitarian notebook, pretty much just pen on paper and keeping that running log of all of the quotes or notes on things that they are learning. And I think to a certain extent that will be true for me, but I could not help decorating the opening page for the Commonplace Book. And I do think it will be fun to also incorporate visual elements in this book because for me, that is part of the inspiration. I also wanted to include this great quote from Donna Tartt, which, by the way, is available as a free printable on my Patreon. This quote is especially fitting for commonplacing, and it is, "The very act of writing it down made her realize how easy it would be to forget, how important it would be from now on to put everything down on paper." And that really is the purpose of the Commonplace Book, is to not let that inspiration and those ideas and those moments when you're reading something and you just say, wow, that is a quote that I want to hold on to. This is a way to actually do that and to put it in a notebook that you can revisit again and again. And especially as a writer myself, I know that many of these pages are going to be filled with inspiring quotes that make me want to pick up a pen and write myself. But this notebook will also be a place where I include notes from things I'm learning. And that is where today's sponsor, Skillshare, comes in. You all know that I am always learning something new thanks to Skillshare. It is the largest online learning community for creatives, and I could literally fill up this entire notebook with notes on so many topics that are of interest to me, whether as a hobby or for my career. And I love how Skillshare really encourages hands-on learning. And now with their new learning paths, you can really dive deep into a skill set and go from beginner to advanced through multiple different classes that are perfectly curated so that you can save time and jump right into learning. Honestly, there are so many learning paths of interest to me. I have way too many hobbies and career interests, but some of my favorites so far are this one about reconnecting to yourself with guided journaling. I actually already took the Writing for Self-Discovery course in this list, and I'm excited to dive into the others for a more comprehensive dive into this skill. One of my goals this year is to also broaden my skills in drawing, so I have this great learning path saved for a later date, and you can just keep discovering whatever interests you, whatever your goal is for this year. There is a learning path, there is a class for you on Skillshare, and the first 500 people who click my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So go ahead and click that link and start learning today. This next journal is similar in some ways to a Commonplace Book, but is focused on my faith. It is gathering inspiration and quotes and what I'm learning in Bible study and from sermons all in one place, alongside my prayers and reflections, so that I can really see my faith journey over time and hopefully how I am growing in my faith. This is now a long-standing practice for me. This is my third volume for this particular type of faith journal, which is called a growth book. And the thing I like about this specific notebook for this purpose is that it has some guided sections in the back, but mostly it's a lot of blank pages for you to take notes on whatever you see fit, and then you can organize them using a table of contents. But I also like that there are some guided sections, like this faith goals page that breaks it down into 12 different categories, and you can see I turned mine into a vision board, a prayer board, if you will, for the year. And I have a video doing this on my channel. It is a recording of a live stream, so you can check that out next. And then one nice thing about this journal is that it also includes a few add-ins, like these monthly strips that you can mark what month you're in, and these reflection pages that are meant to be put in at the start of each month to really reflect on where you've been and where you're going. Now, while I have loved using this notebook and continue to use it, it is important to note that you can use just a plain blank notebook to be your faith journal as well. It's all about just making sure that you have a place to reflect on the things that are most important to you. And in my case, my faith is at the top of that list. One of my favorite things to do is travel and explore new places and go off on adventures, whether that's closer to home and near my local area or abroad. And to me, those experiences are the ones that I most want to have documented so that I can reflect on and remember these extraordinary moments in my life. And in the past, I would tend to just have these scrapbook style pages documenting my trips and experiences, sort of woven throughout other journaling as well. But I've decided going into this year that I want to dedicate this journal to specifically be my travel journal, to be the journal that I pick up after each trip and put my photos and my memories and the foods we ate and the people we met and all of the excursions and experiences that we had in that place, so that over time, this single journal becomes a capsule of all of the places that I have had the privilege to visit. If you are someone who loves to travel, turning one of those notebooks into a travel journal might just be the best decision you make. Finally, we come to my favorite form of memory keeping and journaling, and that is my highlights journal or my life at a glance journal. In time, this one notebook will be a treasure trove of memories from multiple years of my life. It is a place where I do hope that someday someone looking at it can really pick my soul up off the page, because it is where I capture all of the main highlights from each month in a review style page. I cover things like the events that I went to and things I experienced, and the people I spend time with, the things I'm proud of, and the things that I overcame, and my favorite things for that month, and everything in between. So in time, it really becomes a representation of my life at a glance. This is an entire year on 12 pages. And I also like to do some entries that are yearly focused as well, whether those are goal pages or reading and review pages, so that it also captures those annual views of my life at a glance too. And I'm so excited because in 2024, I am inviting others to really dive into this form of journaling with me and participate in the monthly journaling club. Together, we are documenting life 1 month at a time. It is completely free to join. You can head over to my Patreon and sign up for free. And then every single month, we will be getting together to create our month in review spreads, and it is going to be so much fun. There also are paid memberships if you want access to some of my journaling prompts and printable stickers and so much more. If you want to learn more about the monthly journaling club and how you can participate and start this form of journaling for yourself so that you too can have your life at a glance in one notebook, definitely check out my playlist all about monthly journaling and do sign up to join us on February 1st when we review January. Those are all of the notebooks that I am currently using and the 5 main forms of journaling that I am enjoying right now and that are really making a huge difference in my life. I believe that putting our memories and thoughts and plans to paper is a really important part of being human, and I encourage you to do the same. If you want to learn more about other forms of journaling, definitely check out my types of journaling playlist, or you might like my most recent video, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.